Merry Christmas everyone, Alistair here, and in this video we're looking at 8 Northern Irish Christmas traditions. First up, it's food. And Christmas, like any special occasion or celebration where there's family and friends, wouldn't be the same without food. Christmas is no exception. And here's 4 items of food that are very popular in my country. Turkey, that's our main meat, followed by all the trimmings, including stuffing. Our personal family favourite involves sausage meat, breadcrumbs, carrots and onions. Fantastic stuffing. Secondly, we have Brussels sprouts. For some reason, these are really popular. I don't like them. People either seem to think they're brilliant or they're horrible. And one of the funniest stories in my family is on one occasion my aunt, who's a relatively small eater, she was given 26 or maybe 28 Brussels sprouts on her plate. It was incredible. Next up, we then have Christmas pudding. This is for dessert. I'm told there are 13 ingredients. I couldn't tell you what they are. That's actually another one in my country that I don't eat, Christmas pudding. Next up, we've got carols and nativity plays. If these are things you have not done or seen, I highly recommend it. Carols involves singing, a very good community thing to do. And it involves singing very famous songs about the Christmas story. Some popular ones are Away in a Manger, Once in Royal David City, O Come All Ye Faithful. And it involves a group of people coming together and singing. For example, in my local church, a couple of weeks ago, we went to the care home of someone from our church who doesn't keep so well, and we sang for about 45 minutes some carols to the residents there. My mother and father also helped run a community lunch, and after they had done the Christmas lunch this year, a group of children from the local primary school came and sang carols to the predominantly older people. If you've not done carol singing or you've not seen carol singing, I highly recommend it. Then nativity plays are something that happens in schools, usually primary schools with younger children, where the children, with the help of their teachers, tell the Christmas story. The wise men, there weren't 3 of them, the shepherds, and the story of Jesus being born in a stable and manger. Again, if you've not seen a nativity play, or you've not been involved in one, I recommend going and seeing the Christmas story. By the way, where are you from, and what's your favourite Christmas tradition if your country celebrates Christmas? Next up, we have the Queen's Speech. And this is something that happens in all of the Commonwealth countries at 3 o'clock in the UK, in Northern Ireland. It's usually after we've had our dinner, and it's a tradition that people will sit down to listen to the Queen's Speech. Now, it lasts 10 minutes maximum. She probably speaks for about 7 of those minutes. This is possibly a tradition that is decreasing, maybe not so popular with the young people, perhaps as the influence of the Queen decreases. I don't know. But it's certainly something we always did as a family after dinner, maybe after presents. We all sat down to watch what Her Majesty would say. This is very different to the recent Queen's Speech we've heard about in the UK when the Prime Minister goes to the Queen and sort of sets out his policies, his plans at the start of a new term of government. Next up, we have another tradition that's popular in my country, and it's writing letters to Santa. Now, this would normally happen maybe at the end of November or the start of December. Children will sit down and write a list or a letter to Santa Claus and have it sent to the North Pole. This is requesting some items that they would like, and also stating how they have been good throughout the year, so they don't get a lump of coal. This is a nice list written to Santa that gets sent to the North Pole. Next up, we have Christmas trees, which come in a variety of shapes and sizes. Most people in Northern Ireland tend to get an artificial Christmas tree. I think it's easier, and it also can be kept for much longer. Some people prefer a real Christmas tree. I think it's a Norwegian spruce, and you can only have a real Christmas tree for 1 year, and the pine needles will fall. It makes a mess, but I guess it's a more authentic experience. Another tradition we have is that it's not normal to put up the Christmas tree before December, and then it must be down after what we call the 12 days of Christmas. That's by the 5th of January. You must have taken your Christmas tree down. On the first day of Christmas, my true love gave to me a partridge in a pear tree. I'm not going to sing, don't worry about that. Next up, we have stockings, and these are something that become relevant on Christmas Eve, the day before Christmas, and Christmas Day. On Christmas Eve evening, the stockings would usually be left by the fireplace, so that Santa's elves can come and fill them with some smaller gifts on Christmas morning. And the tradition in Northern Ireland is that you would open the stockings first. They usually have smaller presents, more practical things, and this is kind of a precursor before some possibly larger gifts later in the morning or in the afternoon. Number 7, we have the importance of the Christmas number 1 signal. Traditionally in the UK, this is a huge deal, and lots of bands and groups have put lots of money and effort into trying to get the Christmas number 1. So 2 of the more famous ones are Bohemian Rhapsody by Queen and Do They Know It's Christmas. There's also been plenty of songs that are nothing to do with Christmas, and my personal favourite, I think, was 2009 maybe, was Rage Against the Machine with Killing in the Name. It was a tradition that whoever won the X Factor, which is a huge show on ITV, reality show where people performed, that whoever won that show would become the Christmas number one. So there was a petition to try and get this song, Killing in the Name of, which is definitely not a Christmas song, I think 17 years after it was first produced, to try and get it to number one, and it won, actually. It defeated X Factor, which I thought was great. Next up, we have crackers. Now, these are something that would appear around the table, maybe on Christmas Eve, Christmas Day, or Boxing Day. Two people pull them, and inside you might get a hat or a really bad joke or a silly little toy. Very popular in the UK. Now, to discover 9 of the most unusual Christmas Christmas traditions from around the world, check out this video. Thanks so much for watching. Merry Christmas, and I'll see you over here.